Okay, tell us about how you acquired Gareth.
Well, we sold salmage to Basie Tankers, Almara. We had beaten Indriff at the National Stallion Show at Waterloo, Iowa, with salmage. So Basie came down to look at him, and she could afford to buy a show horse, which is what she wanted salmage for. We sold her salmage, and Garth Buchanan and Morris Boyd had been out to Jimmy Dean's shortly after this happened and told Jimmy that we had sold salmage to Basie. So Jimmy assumed we had some money. And he told those two ladies to tell me that if I would come out, he had something for me. Well, boy, we'd been desperately trying to get our hands on some Raffles fillies, and having a one-track mind, that's the only thing that occurred to me was that Jimmy had located her. He decided to sell us a Raffles daughter. Well, boy, we gathered up our suitcases and packed them and took off for Selby's. I mean, practically that same night. We drove all night. It was a 500-mile drive out there. We got there about 6 o'clock the next morning. Jimmy and Thelma were eating breakfast. So we sat down and ate breakfast with them. And when we got through eating breakfast, Jimmy and I were going out to look at the weanlings, coming yearlings. It would have been coming yearlings at that time. But Thelma and May wouldn't let us go because they were doing dishes, and they were afraid we'd say something they wouldn't hear. So we had to wait till they got the dishes done to go out and look at all these young horses, these weanlings. And at that time, I knew all the brood mares and I knew the stallions, and I prided myself on the fact that I could look at a foal and tell Jimmy what stallion it was by and which mare it was on. And I was just going along 100% until I came to a little mahogany bay stud colt. And I looked at that colt, and I couldn't place him. I just absolutely couldn't place him. I said, Jimmy, I know he's by Raffles, but I have no clue who his dam is. And Jimmy said, do you remember that little bay pot-bellied star filly that I got from Mr. Williams down in Texas 3 or 4 years ago? And I said, you mean Toy? She was a tiny little fine thing, and they nicknamed her Toy. And he said, yes, this is Toy's first foal. Well, it just happened at that time that Alice Payne was looking for a colt out in California. He was looking for a mare out in California. I wanted an Antez, as nearly close up to Antez as I get. At that time, it had to have been an Antez granddaughter because it wasn't possible to get any Antez daughters. There were very few of those available. And Margaret Shuey had the best of them. But anyway, she was trying to find me an Antez bred mare to take over and breed the Raffles because I wanted to breed some speed into some Raffles horses. Well, this colt was out of a Antez granddaughter, and he was a grandson of Racine, which suited me. It suited me fine. And I said, is he for sale? And Jimmy said, well, he would be if the right person came along. And I said, would I do? Yeah, he said, I guess you do. So anyway, that's how I bought Gareth. And it wasn't until the next summer, Jimmy sent me the papers that I discovered that he had transferred that colt to us in February, and we didn't get him until June. I mean, he was that sure, if I ever saw that colt, that I'd buy him, that he just went ahead and transferred the papers to me, mainly because he was afraid Mr. Selby might sell him to somebody else that came along that, and he could say, well, he's Bill Munson's colt. He'd been promised to Bill Munson. But anyway, that was the story of Gareth.